Hello, everybody, and welcome to qualifying. We're here today at the French Grand Prix. Today, we have a track length of 5.8 kilometers here at Paul Ricard Circuit. This race will hold a race distance of 3.6 miles per lap in this race. 15 corners make up the 3.6-mile track, with nine turns to the right and six to the left. Paul Ricard holds two very long straights, heading off of turn 15 down into turn 1, which you're met with a heavy braking zone, great for overtaking, and the second one coming off as turn 7 down to 8. Both straights provide great opportunities for all drivers to overtake. Paul Ricard is one of the longest tracks on the F1 calendar. It has two DRS zones, one just before turn 7 and one at just before turn 14. The average speed we'll see here today is 141 miles per hour, and the slowest speed we'll see is that 59 miles per hour, just down at turn 5. There's still a few chances for safety cars to come out during the race. The last two seasons, here are the stats at Paul Ricard. Two different people have taken pole. Currently, Preston and Rickvick were the two people in the last two seasons to take pole here at Paul Ricard. And there's been four drivers in the last two seasons to take a podium on this very circuit. Harry taking two very dominant wins here, and Preston taking two podiums, a second place and a third place, and Jamie and Callum were the last two people to take the podium slots. That's it for me. Heading back down to Dan now.
What an intro that was by Peter, I must say. Much better than I have ever done. Congratulations to Peter on that. Definitely more to come of that, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
But yes, we talk about Paul Ricard's history, of course, the French Grand Prix history inside the DFL. As Peter gladly stated, Harry has won the past two seasons. Now, can he keep up that streak going? What do you think, Peter?
Well, definitely. Harry clearly has a soft spot for this place, obviously, and is clearly very dominant round here. I'm hoping that after coming off a fantastic win in Monza, he can keep this form up now, get another race victory under his belt once again. Obviously, Italy was his first win of the season. He had multiple shots up before that, all of them failing and coming to an end with incidents, race, just he had so much bad luck thrown his way during the first half of the season, and then Italy finally came through with a race victory for Harry.
Now, yeah, talking about Harry, we can't forget about the person that he has battled with both times here, and that is Preston. Of course, Charlie, Preston's championship rival, is not here today. So, can Preston take advantage of this? Can Preston take the win against Harry? What does Preston need to do today to really, again, take advantage of Charlie not being here?
Well, obviously, you obviously want to try and score as many points as you can during the start of, well, if your opponent is not here, you definitely want to try and capitalize as much as you can off of it. I'm sure Preston's going to have a very, very, very difficult time here. Obviously, Harry being his main pretty competitor for today's race. As we all know, Harry is very dominant round here, like you said.
Yeah, it will definitely be an interesting one, and it will be a show to watch Harry and Preston once again today. But we look at Harry and Preston, but we can't forget about the other two drivers. There's five drivers actually in total here today. Callum, Bradley, and Jamie. Now, so far, Preston takes that P1 spot, Harry takes that P2 spot, and Jamie takes that P3 spot. Can Jamie, Bradley, or Callum do anything today to conjure up a surprise win or get some really needed points?
Well, obviously, with Harry's amazing win, it puts Jamie and George behind in that race of third, should I say now. Um, so Harry's done well to bridge a gap between him and George, but Jamie has some work ahead of him now. Jamie needs to channel his inner self, and the gentleman, we all know that he can go and get podiums and win. We've seen him in the past. He's got one this season. I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie was on the podium spot today. But it'll be all about trying to be staying composed at the start of the race, not making that mistake, and then if he can make it past the first opening lap and then not have any mistakes, and I think it's smooth sailing from there.
Um, Obviously we talk about Harry George. Oh, sorry. Uh,
And
Obviously we talk about Harry, George, and Jamie battling away for third place. Obviously Harry and Jamie here today. George once again isn't. Does George really have a standpoint in this battle anymore? Because he's not turning up to many races. I mean, yes, he's still in it, of course. But do we really think he can take that third place? I mean, we have these schools up right now, and you see Harry sort of running away with it, really.
oh, I think if George can start showing up to more races, then I reckon that it would be better, because we all know George, when he's on a racetrack, he only has one aim, and that is gonna win. Try to anyways. We've seen him against the drivers, and he's quite good. He makes his mistakes, but still comes back through with a fighting punch. But yeah, it could be the fact that he might not be able to fight for this third, and there might be fourth, maybe fifth in the championship. But yeah, who knows at the moment.
Exactly. I mean, we'll just have to see whether he does turn up at all. But another battle that's currently going on, because you kind of got every driver locked in a battle on the championship right now. Um, you've got Callum and Bradley sort of stuck in a battle, not for any position, but just to see who gets ahead of who, really. I mean, they are quite closely contended right now. Both drivers will be looking to secure points. As you can see, Callum right now P16, whilst Bradley is P2. What does Callum have to do to get back up and try and actually get ahead of Bradley?
Well, clearly Bradley has been doing some practicing around here, and that if he has been practicing it, it's paid off for him very well. He's only a tenth off the provisional pole sits right now, and that's the man trying to fight for the championship as well. So, and
Oh,
Harry now fastest with a 132.1.
that is only a, like, what is that, a tenth off of Preston? That's maddening. Can Harry take his first ever pole here in the French Grand Prix in the DFL Championship today?
Yeah, well, it'd be great, have three different people in three different seasons taking polls. Preston, Rickvik, and Harry, all taking poll. Well, let's not quite it yet. Harry hasn't taken poll yet, people. Fucking hell. My bad with language. But yeah, it'd be great to see if Harry can take this poll as well, and maybe even that third in around Paul Ricard as well. It'd be quite interesting to see if he can continue that French win streak going on. If Harry does, Harry will be the only driver to win at the same circuit 3 years in a row.
Yes, and I mean, of course, he has another opportunity on that come Jeddah, which is only about 4 races away. Three actually after this, but so obviously, if Harry does take pole position today, we know for the times he's won. Yes, it's only been the last 2 seasons, which is the 2 seasons we've had. Um, he's hasn't taken pole. Do you think him taking pole will maybe take that win away, like almost like a curse? Because Preston didn't win when he took pole. Ritvick didn't win when he took pole.
Well, funny enough, though, I was watching a bit of the watching and rewatching like seasons. I think it was either one or two. I can't remember. And I know it was seasons one actually. And I remember that Callum actually had a time penalty, and he almost overtook Preston on the line. No, I'm pretty sure he did for a split second, and I think he crossed the line, and then the penalty kicked in, which kicked Callum down to third. So for 2 years in a row, well, I in season two also Preston didn't even finish. Yeah, no, didn't finish within the top two. He finished third. So yeah, because of a penalty. I think it was because of a penalty Preston had as well, so that kicked him down to third. So maybe this year he might be able to break that curse and get his first win around here. But only time will tell, I guess.
But you mentioned that Callum had a penalty as well. Callum is currently down in 20th. What's going on?
To be honest, I don't even know. I think he might have had I think he had a spin at the start. So, I don't know.
It's definitely a weird one with Callum because normally he's up top, but who knows whether he can come back up. We know that Callum is very capable of that. But we go up now.
Provisional poll. Jesus Christ.
Could Brad be the first one to for the first time second time in our league take pole, but first time in the French Grand Prix? This would be a very interesting turnaround.
Remember Bradley? I'm pretty sure he got pole not that long ago. Actually, I think he had pole in Italy. That's it. That's my bad. He had pole in Italy. Remember?
Yeah, that's why I said second time after correcting myself. But this could be major. I mean, we have seen Bradley take pole before, as you say, but not hold it as much. Can Brad hold it today, do you think, if he is to get pole?
Well, obviously, if he does hold pole, if he does stay on this provisional pole slot, then I reckon that Harry's going to have a tough time ahead of him, but I'm sure he won't let someone get in his way of getting this third race win around France.
I, to be honest, I agree with you. But who knows what will happen? I mean, whether we'll see competitive Harry come out. I mean, he's been competitive all season, as you say. He took the last win, in Italy. But whether we'll see France Harry come back out or not, will be the interesting question. But what the qualifying we have so far, Callum still not able to get up top as he spins again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Callum, but Preston is currently almost 2 tenths up in the first sector on his original lap time. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Will this Red Bull get in his way as well? Who will know? He's going slightly wide, so he's letting Preston through, which is good. Doesn't hold him up. The Ferrari almost holds him up there, but I don't think he might have lost a bit of time through that, a bit of traffic he had there. So who will know until he crosses that line now? Yeah, it'll all be about crossing the line, see what he can do. Because Harry's also currently on the out lap, so he'll be starting his lap very shortly.
He's now weaving his way through the chicane, coming up to what is the last straight, but he has to go around this final corner here, and he goes into pit, so that's completely changed our minds, and now he's his next lap is going to be not counted, so that's unfortunate for Preston. But as you say, Harry is now starting his time lapse. So is Jamie behind him. Who will get the better time here?
Well, he's just had that McLaren now in front of him, Harry. So unless that McLaren moves out the way, which Harry almost goes off track there, but that doesn't affect him. Will he put in a good sector time? He's coming through turns 5 right now. This is the slowest corner right on the track. He has not improved. He's practically almost 2 tenths slower than his original lap time. That's unlike Harry. But he's still in the front row, which is a good start. Still a good position for him at the moment. But let's just head down to Jamie, see what he's doing. I don't know what his first sector time was, so I'm sure we'll see what he's doing in sector 2. Obviously, he's about to cross the sector 2 line. He is almost practically a second down on his lap time. So that's not good for him. Heading back up to Harry now. See what he can do. He's coming through this wiggly part of the section. Holding it nice and easy on the throttle around here. Now start feeding that throttle power through, and then it's braking a little bit, go left, and is he going into pits? And he's going into the pits.
Everyone seems to be going into pits on a very good time lap here. So don't know what's going on, but Bradley is still out.
Yeah, Bradley was starting his out lap when Harry was doing his flying lap. So obviously a bit of traffic behind the Aston Martin and the other Haas. You can see that train starting to be formed now. So, it's great that Preston doesn't have to deal with that. Or unless he might, but he might need to slow down just a little bit more. But just to make sure he doesn't counter this traffic, I'm sure that's the last thing he wants on a flying lap.
Yeah, completely. But as Bradley weaves his way through the AI one at a time, he's going up the normal straight now. Can he build any good time here at all? We'll find out in a minute, I'm sure. That seems to be a very good sector 2, I believe. So now he's on to the sector 3. What can he know? That's not good sector 2 because he's not even completed that. He's now crossed to sector 2, and that was a good sector 2. So he's now going round through sector 3. Still has AIs in front of him. What can Bradley do? Trying to get past the Alfa Romeo. The Alfa Romeo kind of blocking him, but Bradley makes it past him anyway. Through the chicane now, and Bradley's still trying to hold it tight to the line, trying not to lose too much speed, and now slowing down quite a bit. What is going on here?
Yeah, a lot of traffic around Paul Ricard right now. It can get quite busy at times, especially when everyone's trying to get their last set of flying laps in. But heading back to Preston now, he kind of missed his sector time, sector 1. Very briefly, so I couldn't see what he's doing. I'm sure hopefully he has improved his lap time. Can Preston now go for a second pole in can he go for 2 poles and have 2 poles to his name on the same track?
Poles do seem to be bad luck, so does he really want that?
Well, I don't know. He's currently 5/10 on his original lap, so clearly he thinks it's not bad luck. He's trying to go for it. He's trying to clearly get ahead of everyone and just have everyone behind him. But he's currently 5/10 up on his on his original lap. So this is like a good sign for him at the moment. With 45 seconds left to go of the session. Let's see what everyone's doing. Everyone will be surely coming to an end on their flying laps. As soon as they cross the line, it will be over for the session. But Preston can get one more flying lap in if he chooses to. What would he do if he only crosses the line?
Oh!
Provincial pole with a 1:31.6. That is right. He has gone nearly 3/10 quicker than Bradley.
This is truly incredible. Preston really wants that pole point. Knows it's crucial within this championship fight. He needs every point he can get now.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't even think that pole would. I forgot about that pole point, but yeah, every point. So it now takes the race. Well, if he gets I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so he now needs another win, or no. He'll be 26 points behind if he finishes second today.
And what if he finishes first?
I didn't calculate that.
Ah, fair enough. No worries.
I'm sure it will take the gap down to maybe below, maybe in the high 10s.
Okay, no worries.
Currently 2/10 up on his sector time in sector 2. He's gone purple sector 2. Harry is absolutely on a flying lap right now. He clearly wants this as well, as much as Preston does. But this man right here, the man in red, he wants to go once again for another race victory. 2 race victories in a row, and a 3rd one if he can get it on this very track as well.
Oh!
Ooh.
Almost hit Preston there, but carry on.
Yeah, he will surely want to get his 3rd win on this very track. But he crosses the line. What is it going to be? He is currently only 2 slower than Preston, but it's a front row start for the man in red. But Preston is on pole.
Is it going to be bad luck or not? Find out, people, in a minute. And this is your qualifying leaderboard, people. Preston, for the second time in the DFL, takes pole position in France. Harry follows him in P2. Bradley takes P3, Jamie in P4. And I believe we'll scroll quite a bit down. Callum in P17. Unlucky for Callum today, but can he come back in the race? You'll have to find out in a minute. Stick around, people. Do not be late. And here we are for the formation lap of France, people. What an interesting race. It's gonna be Preston. Of course, has taken that pole position and completing that front row is Harry in second place. Completing the second row is Bradley and Jamie. And then quite a bit down the grid is Callum in P16. What's P17? Getting due to a 5-place grid penalty on Nicholas Latifi. He's now dropped down to Nicholas Latifi's now dropped down to P20. Callum takes that P16 spot. So, what an interesting race this truly could be. Peter, what are you expecting from today?
Oh, I'm clearly expecting Harry to have a great start and power straight past the hat of Preston. And I'm sure that that's Harry's aim, to get past Preston as quick as possible so that he's in the lead and start his dominance on this track.
I'm not sure if you saw when you were doing your research, but I will say, during the first half of the race, Preston and Harry are always closely combating each other, if that's the right word, fighting each other. They just can't break off from each other. The only time they break off is when they start pitting. You know, that's the difference maker. So I'm sure they'll be close again today until one of them pits.
Yeah, I don't know what tyre compound that Harry's on. I'm pretty sure he's on the same as Preston, which they're both on the medium compound right now. I wonder what Bradley's on. He is on the hards. He's playing the long game. Jamie is playing the long game. And I wonder what Callum is doing. Is he on the mediums? He is indeed. So, the third and fourth both on hards. And second and first both on the aggressive strategy. What will these two, the two Ferrari-powered engine cars, Haas and Ferrari, what will they do? Will it be the fight to the line? Will it be controversy? Will it be dominant from Harry? Or will it be a dominant victory from Preston? Who knows? As the final cars are about to come on the grid, Nicholas Latifi will initiate the lights out in just a couple moments' time once he gets his car lined up. Which is about to happen right now, as everyone is now getting into their grid slots. It is near moments away right now.
Ooh.
It's lights out, and away we go. Preston has a really good start. Harry, not so good. But Preston is flying away. Down into turn one we go. Harry has to follow behind Preston. Preston has a brilliant start and is now still ahead of Harry, which is not what Harry wanted. They hadn't had a good start, but behind Jamie and Bradley are still in the same positions. But Bradley's slowly gaining on Harry right now. You can see he's just less than a half of a car width behind Harry.
He's really trying to take that position away from him, and if he does, it's just another car that the current streak holder, Harry, has to pass. But can Bradley do it? He's looking for it. He can't get it on this corner, unfortunately. Jamie lacking behind. No, he's not. He's catching up to Bradley quite a bit on most corners. Jamie may be looking for the overtake of Bradley now. Bradley goes a bit wide now, and that may be Jamie having it. Of course, Bradley stays within track limits, so no need to get the warnings out quite yet.
Yeah, exactly. But Harry, which is key for him, stay in this P2 slot and slot and keeping P3 and 4 behind him, and then it's all eyes on Preston and chasing down Preston now. The gap is 1.3 seconds now, and this is what Harry has to do. He has to either play the aggressive game or play the conservative game. Who knows? We're about to find out in a couple laps' time. See what Harry does. He looks like he's trying to push his car to the limits. You can tell that he wants this win.
Yes, and the desperation, almost in his eyes, really does indicate that. But Callum still down in P16. I did see him get overtaken, but he managed to come back on Joe Guan Yu and get back the overtake back up to P16. Whether Callum can get back up the grid or not will be the question we're all asking ourselves. But the main question is whether Harry can catch up to Preston or not. I mean, there is currently a gap being formed between second and third, and then first and second. So Harry will not like that, of course, the gap to Preston, but he'll be loving the gap to Bradley. Jamie trying all he can to catch up to Bradley now, but failing quite a bit here.
Yeah, clearly, Bradley, it's good for Bradley though. He has been able to maintain this position at the very start. It's had no mistakes, and the same with Jamie. So now it is all about just keeping focus and not making these mistakes.
But can Bradley and Jamie do that? I mean, I did just see Jamie go off track limits there, unfortunately. But can Bradley and Jamie truly hold it together? I know that Jamie can race really good when he wants to, so can Bradley. But we've also seen them have quite a few accidents.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning, you know, we're not. There's still very. There's a couple of opportunities to, you know, get safety cars in this. You know, if there is a safety car, there's a lot of runoff area for drivers to, you know, well, you know, there's a lot of room. So, safety car would be very unlikely in this kind of scenario. But it depends on whereabouts on the track there the incidences happen. So, you know, but no, we all keep our thumbs crossed, or our fingers crossed, should I say, in case of a safety car. You know, it might work out in the favours of people like maybe Harry, Bradley, Jamie, including Callum as well. He's currently up into P15 right now. He has gained one place since lap 1. It's now lap 3 out of 27, and he's only made one position.
Something we do need to mention, completely random, well not completely random, but not to do with this race, but to do with the series, is, I believe, 2 races ago, Jamie, due to an incident, I can't exactly remember now, got a, what was it, 20 point deduction from Carl, and actually no, it was Singapore he got that due to the crash that happened between him going into Lewis Hamilton and him sending it into George Russell. Very unfortunate. And then last race, Callum and Bradley, Callum got a, no, Bradley didn't get anything. Callum, I believe, got a 5-point deduction due to an incident that happened last race. Again, I can't exactly remember it. I'm sure Peter might, but I can't exactly remember it. I need to do some research. It may even pop up. Who knows? I'm sure it will. But, yeah. Unfortunately, Callum has received that 5-point deduction. So has Jamie with a 20-point deduction. But those are Carl's new rules. Welcome to him being the steward of the league. He ain't messing around, is he, Peter?
Yeah, no, Carl's not here to play around with games. He doesn't really care, you know. He doesn't care what the people have to say. You know, I wouldn't say it sounds like that, because it sounds like we give him one set of information and he just goes off of that. It's like, yep, this is it. Like, Carl does make very informed decisions. He does take consideration. He tries to get both sides of the story. You know, he makes it fair on both, and then once he's had both sides, made his decision, looked at and analysed the situation and what's happened, then that's when he decides to either give out the points or, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I said the clips may have shown up. Who knows? You have to, of course you would have seen them by now, but if they did, then why don't you give the video a like, because we're finding more ways to make the series better, people. And if you find a way to make it better, leave it down in the comments, because why the hell not? Subscribe whilst you're at it if you're new. But we're going to get back to this race. Callum now made up 2 positions.
Yeah, Callum now moving up to P14, which is good. He's slowly and steadily making his way up through the grid. Maybe he's chosen the wrong setup. But one man who's very close to someone right now is Bradley. Sets a 1:35.6 on the hard compound, quicker than the 2 in front on the mediums. And Bradley is clearly pushing his car to the limit. And this is a different Bradley we haven't seen before.
But you talk about Bradley getting close to Harry, but Harry is also getting close to Preston. So the top three are getting inches closer to each other by the second now. Do not leave this video because I'm sure this battle will be legendary, people.
Yeah, Harry has DRS on Preston, and Bradley has DRS on Harry. It is very, very close between these top three. We could even see a three-way fight for this French Grand Prix, but who knows? It is only just starting, so there's two different strategies between the top three there. So let's see how the strategy game plays out between those three, and maybe Jamie might even step his way through.
Thing is, though, the top, well, all the drivers have a stake in this race today. Preston, of course, the points he needs to gain on Charlie. Harry, the points he needs to get away from George and Jamie. Bradley, the points he needs to get on top of Callum. Jamie, the points he needs to catch up to George and Harry. And then Callum, the points he needs to keep that gap going between him and Bradley.
But Harry is trying to go for an overtake on the main straight against Preston. They go wheel to wheel. This is a very heavy down into the left-hander. They go wheel to wheel through turns 2, and now Harry gets ahead. Preston's now back ahead. They get now Preston's ahead, but Bradley tried to just have a little bit of a peek there, but he realised he just stick his nose out of it just for the meanwhile and sit back. But they still go wheel to wheel. Preston goes wide. They make a bit of contact. But Harry now up into the lead of the French Grand Prix. But he might lose his DRS because Preston might have it. Who knows yet? It seems like none of them have DRS. Oh no, both of them, Preston and Bradley, both have DRS. They go to the porter left-hand side of Harry. Now Bradley looks like to go down the inside, cuts the corner. Harry goes through the middle of him. Preston back up to the Harry.
Oh no! This is... Oh no, I'm not even going to say that. Welcome to the DFL French Grand Prix, people. It's packed with action. Preston, Harry, going at it. Happens every single season. And now Harry is down to P4. Can he get back up? I'm sure he can. Actually, I'll rephrase that. Can Harry pull a Callum and get up many positions? Because Callum is up 3 positions right now. He is stonking up that leaderboard. Can Harry do the same or not?
Yeah, well, I'm sure Harry will turn that anger into motivation to push himself and get past these guys once again. It was very unlucky, and I'd have to say that it was mainly Bradley's fault there. But we'll send that to Carl after the race. But Harry now just has to deal with this for the moment, and there's nothing we can do for the meanwhile to help him out. But I'm sure Harry will still come back through.
Yes, we will definitely be sending Matt to Carl, and what will happen, who knows. But I think it's actually quite good by Carl not to hand out grid penalties or time penalties. It's point deductions, so people actually have to have sort of a more of a determination to race safe. I feel like if it's a time penalty or a point or a grid penalty, people are bothered, but not as bothered. But with a points deduction, that's points they need for the battle they're in.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, with the point reduction, it makes the consequences a bit more severe, and it makes the whole dynamic of the situation a little bit more dramatic, and it adds a bit more drama to the whole season as a whole. Obviously, I would say, it's not like the real F1, but we're not real F1. We're playing a game, and, we have to interpret our own rules to be able to encounter situations like these, because, stuff like this is going to happen. But, it depends how severe the incident was, and, it's not like Harry has any damage, or should I say any visual damage. He might have some damage that doesn't show up for us, and, so who knows. But he is currently 2.1 seconds behind Jamie right now. So Preston is currently pulling away, and it's quite evenly spread between those that top 4. But it seems like Bradley has lost the touch with the hards, and he's now 2 seconds behind Preston, and that's a lot of time that Harry's lost.
what I feel like is no one has that DRS, so Harry has the advantage to catch up to Jamie here. But also, what I feel like was pulling Bradley into that fight was Harry being there. He was getting that slipstream off of Harry. He was getting the DRS off of Harry, so that was pulling Bradley into that battle. Now he doesn't have that middleman between him and Preston. He can't catch up.
Yeah, exactly. And Harry was the man that was holding those two together. You know, Harry was catching up to Preston, and Bradley was trying to catch up to Harry. So it just kind of it all cancelled each other out, and they were all catching each other at once. So it just basically meant that Bradley could invite himself back to the pie and, you know, get involved in the action.
Definitely, and what an interesting race we've had so far. It's only lap 8, people, so why the hell would you want to click off? You wouldn't, I'm sure. And just keep going along with this race, because it's really interesting so far. But we are going to drop down to Callum right now very quickly. P12. He's now gained 4 different positions under pressure by the Mercedes of George Russell and the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly here. Can he catch up to the McLaren?
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's slowly making his way through the field, so I see why he shouldn't. I wouldn't see why not, you know. So, you know, there's quite a bit of a train from... and Jack has spun, and that means Harry is now up into P3, back in the podium positions. Another bit of a dramatic is that Bradley's pulled him back himself within a 1 second gap, and that means he has the DRS, because it coming off just turn 7, he has DRS, and that will allow him to use that against Preston, obviously, as he powers down the straight with ERS and DRS. I'm sure he'll be trying to use all of that up. It was a 1.1, now it is 0.6 of a second behind Preston. I'm sure
Jamie spun again. He's down to P9 now.
That is not good for Jamie at all after having such a good race. You know, I don't know what to say. You know, he makes the mistakes and then he just falls down this route of constantly making mistakes through the race.
Yeah, definitely, and an unfortunate time for Jamie for sure. But now Callum is behind him. Well, I would be really interested to see a battle between Jamie and Callum, because we don't get to see that very often, I don't think. But we're actually going to go back up to the top here now. Bradley was within a very good range, but has dropped off a bit, but about to get the DRS again on this straight. May be able to go for the overtake. I don't think it's possible on this straight, but he'll definitely be able to drag it in quite a bit here.
Yeah, turn 1 is a very good active braking zone for overtaking as well through the chicane, as they both go off track there for a second. But just remember, Preston is on the mediums and Bradley is on the hards. So when Preston goes to pit, Bradley is going to be in the lead. He doesn't make any mistakes, but he is 4 tenths of a second now. He is etching so closer now to Preston, the man who's desperate, needing these points to get the championship down to 18 points just between Charlie and him. But he tries to go for the overtake. He had DRS. He's using ERS. Will he pull to the inside? It's the only option for him. He pulls down to the inside of Preston. They go wheel to wheel. They almost touch there for a second. He backs out there, but he lets Preston ahead. He almost made contact he almost connected his front right to Preston's rear left. And he will be trying to catch Preston. He is quicker than Preston, and he knows it. You can just see it, how faster that Bradley is driving compared to Preston.
But I won't take it away from this battle. We'll see it conclude before I mention what I was about to mention, because Bradley is still gaining on Preston, not letting him get away, not letting Preston gain any time whatsoever. Bradley is letting Preston know that he is here, making sure that his presence is known, and he may be going for the overtake, but he can't stretch it. Now, slight contact between Bradley and Preston. Preston makes it go out, but I believe Bradley was staying behind so that he would get the DRS on Preston. But does it really help? No, it doesn't, because he's run out of DRS. Going to the bare bones of it now. Preston again goes a bit wide. He'll be thankful for Carl's not here, that's for sure, because we cannot count every time that someone goes off track whilst Carl can. But now Bradley still going after Preston, making sure that his presence is still known here.
Yeah, Bradley is clearly not letting Preston go, and he's holding him on with a bare grip. And he's trying to let Preston know that he's not going anywhere anytime soon, and he's only staying behind him and hopefully trying to pass him. He had a great opportunity down into here, down into the turn eight, through this through the chicane area right here. But he clearly saw his opportunity, he tried seizing it, but then realized that it wasn't going to work and it was only going to end one way for those two. It was going to end in a collision or spinning out. But who knows? Harry in the background now. The gap was something in the 3 second range, but now he's dropped it down to 2.8 without Bradley attacking Preston. It sort of, they keep Harry keeps dropping behind just a couple, maybe a tenth ever or so, like a lap. Bradley now, once again, he is trying to look to attack Preston, but Preston goes into the pits. I'm assuming Harry would follow it into the pits as well, but apparently not. He clearly feels that the tyres are not bad and he's still got the grip in him. So now, Preston into the pits, Harry up into P2 right now. Bradley into the lead of the French Grand Prix. This is the first time since Bahrain or Italy when he had, for a split second he was leading it and then spun out. But Bahrain was probably, off the top of my head, was the last time he led a Grand Prix on merit. And now Harry has a mighty job ahead of him to cut down the 3.2 second gap.
And can we just remember, I can't remember what season it was, but if we go back in time, we know that Harry has made softs survive until 80%. If he can do that on softs, what can he do with mediums? That is truly going to be the question, but we're going to divert just down quite a bit. Callum in P19 due to a pit, but Jamie now down in P18. He was P20, but all the guys pitted, so he's now gone up to P18. We don't know what's happened to Jamie, but it's been a very unlucky race for him so far.
Yeah, Jamie, once he makes that, like I said before, he makes that first mistake and then starts playing the sad story for himself, and then it just sort of ends in a route of mistakes.
Apparently, in his words, it was due to his setup being so heavy, he just couldn't drive really how he knows he can drive. But that doesn't matter. We're going to pop back up to Preston, who's come out of the pits, now P7, so not too far away from Harry, who's actually just pitted himself.
Yeah, Harry clearly feels that he needs to cover off Preston. He needs to have a good pit stop here. Otherwise, Preston here catch him up, and I'm sure he will on this part of the track, and it will be a job for Harry. He's not far from the pit exit now, but Preston will overtake him when it comes to entering the pits, and he's just about to overtake him right now as Harry is exiting the pits as we speak. And now he is on the hard compound, I believe. Makes slight contact there with the McLaren of Lando Norris, but not enough to anything too severe. But now he splits Yuki and Lando from that little fight they were having. Oh, he almost goes into the back of him. Those cold tires are not helping in his case any. So what? Those cold tires need to be warmed up. You can see how far wide he's going because of the cold tires as well.
So we know, I will just divert off of Harry a second. We do know that if things stay roughly the same, that there will be one battle changeover, if you get what I mean. Currently, Bradley sits in 12th in the championship. Callum sits in 11th. But if it stays the same here, Bradley will overtake Callum and take that 11th place, maybe even higher actually, but I doubt it. I believe Bradley will just go and overtake Callum in the championship.
Yeah, which will be good for their little battle. Obviously it won't be the best of the rest, but I'm sure it will be good points for the McLaren team as they look to try and fight for that constructors.
And we talk about battles, but if Harry is to remain in the points right now, Jamie not in the points, George not here, it will extend his lead in the battle for third place.
Yeah, Same with Harry, yeah, it will extend his battle in third place, but Harry needs to climb a mountain to make this make a bigger gap for himself. But at the moment, that doesn't seem like the case. So unless something changes and blows in the direction of Harry and goes his way, it could be that the gap that we thought that might happen today might not happen at all.
That's so true. And as we're talking, Preston does get the overtake on the AI of Lewis Hamilton. Nice overtake by Preston. Now back up to third place whilst Harry's down in 8th. Harry may be looking for the overtake on the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda here. If he is to get this overtake, then he'll go up to 7th place, meaning that he's still within this battle for first place, I believe, because there is enough time for him to gain on the top 2. But what can happen? I mean, we look currently, Bradley has a 21-second gap.
Yeah, and it's still climbing. Obviously, Bradley's heart will be a bit more worn compared to Preston's and Harry's, but when it comes to pitting, he will have a fair bit of advantage over those two. But as Preston is now on the back of Sebastian Vettel, he has DRS from Vettel now, powering down the straight. What will he do? Pull to the inside, pull to the outside. He pulls down the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Looks like he's trying to send a dive bomb. He does. He makes that work. They almost make some contact there. He might even make contact there, but now moves up into a fight for P2, and now he's going to chase down Bradley.
Yes, he will. And can Preston truly catch up with 12 laps left to go? I do think it's possible. But is this the end of Harry's win streak? I mean, he has got the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda, but is there enough time to catch up to first place?
Well, I don't know until we sort of get to when Bradley starts his second stint.
Right, so true. I forgot he still has to pit, so that gap will get shut down. But we are going to quickly talk. Mick Schumacher now out for race. Did DNF. I'm not too sure why. I didn't really see it, but yeah. The Haas has gone out, very unfortunately. That will affect the Haas team's constructors' points. Not that we're speaking about constructors, really, but it's still there. Join my Discord if you want to see what constructors are. Because I post both championship tables in there, so why the hell not? Also follow the TikTok, watch you're at it. Doing a lot of self-promo today, aren't I? But I thought, why the hell not? Anyway, back to the race now. Bradley is in the pits now.
Yeah, nearly he needs to think that thought that it's the best time to pit, and whilst he still has that gap. Actually, he about to cross the pit entry. It is going to be close, but Preston will be out front. But I'm pretty sure Bradley is on the mediums like he should be. Which he is. Now it is game on for Bradley. It could be his potential first win here in the F1 DFL Championship against Preston. So obviously he is on the quicker compound now compared to Preston, but it all comes down to tyre management and pace.
Imagine that. Harry's first loss in the French Grand Prix in the DFL Championship is to Bradley winning the French Grand Prix. I'm not saying Bradley's a bad driver, but we know that Bradley has been in quite a few accidents over the course of his season. So it'd be quite the exciting scenes, wouldn't it? But we go back down to Harry now, currently in P5, maybe about to go up to P4 on Sergio Perez right now. I truly think that Harry could still come back and win this.
Yeah, but another person trying to overtake from the lead right now is Bradley. He's kept him within that 5/10 range of Preston, so he's able to light those mediums up real quick and now get onto the back of Preston. And Preston thought that he'd have maybe a couple seconds leeway gap between them. You can tell that Bradley is pushing his McLaren to that limit against the as you can tell that he has been absolutely he's been waiting for this moment. He's been waiting to fight for the race lead. He has had opportunities. He did have the opportunity in Bahrain in the Open on his debut, but he didn't quite make use of that opportunity. He now pulls down to the inside. Oh, Preston with DRS down the inside to turn 1. He makes the overtake work, and now up into P1. Preston is now the one chasing Bradley now. And Harry now up to P3 as well. So if these two can keep fighting for long enough, Harry can probably bring himself back into the fight.
this could be once again a really interesting battle. Of course, we do have to think Bradley was the one who took out Harry earlier. Potentially Callum. Carl will review that footage. We will send it to him, and he will see and do as he sees fit. But as you say, Harry could catch up right now. It's a very good opportunity, but whilst that's going on, Preston is trying his all he can, trying his absolute best to catch up to Bradley. I'm kind of mixing up my words today. It's not looking very good, but with 10 laps left to go, Peter, what can happen?
Well, a lot can happen within that safety car, maybe. Just remember, Harry was was fighting for the lead, and they had an incident in Italy, and then the safety car came out, and then he was then he led Preston pitted. Harry stayed out and played the long game and stuck with the tyres he got because he thought that he knew that he'd have a better shot at winning the race the way he did than pitting and then trying to fight on a quicker compound. And it worked in the end, and it paid off. And let's say when we thought it was all over for Harry, it wasn't. So let's just say Harry is not out of it. He can pull miracles that people can't, and this is the person that we thought who wanted to get his first win of the season and then did, and shocked us all by winning a masterclass.
And masterclass it truly was. But we're just going to take a break from top 3 right now. Jamie up into P9, back into points. Callum P11, near the points now. Can Callum get back up to points? Can Jamie get back up to the top now? What are these two capable of? What can they do? What do they need to do?
Well, obviously, they need to focus. Obviously, Lando Norris is on the medium compound compared to Callum is. He's on the hards, and I'm pretty sure Jamie will be. No, he's on the mediums as well. So Jamie also on the mediums, but he's in a pack with the Ferrari and then his teammate Sergio. So he can potentially maybe move up to P7 here, maybe even P6 if the guys in front of him keep fighting along. But Callum, though, he is now up into P11 and sits in front of Lando Norris as Lando Norris tries to pull down the inside. Lando Norris tried to make the move down the inside, but didn't make it work. Callum is in front still, and it's all good. He can hold on to that P11 just that little bit longer now.
And whilst we're talking, Jamie is getting the overtake on the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz now. Goes wheel to wheel, manages to make it past. All he has is Sergio Perez in front of him. Can he get ahead of Sergio Perez? His own teammate is looking very, very likely here, people. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? He can potentially get one more position, and that is from his teammate. It'd be great to see these guys score points again. I can't remember since they scored double points, so I've kind of lost track of that. But yeah, it'd be nice to see these guys score points and score more points for the constructors.
That is correct right there. And the last time they scored points together was, I believe, actually the USA, where Sergio got 1 point and Jamie actually got 8 points. So obviously these two do work well together. Can they pull it off again here today? But we are going to bring it up a minute. Bradley is running away with this. Harry not able to close this gap at all between him and Preston.
Yeah, so that fight that we thought that would happen between Preston and Bradley didn't happen. So I'm quite surprised. Bradley is running away with it with a 3.1 second lead.
With only about 7 laps left to go here after he crosses this line, of course. Can Bradley hold this together and win it today?
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him do that. I think it'd relieve a lot of pressure off of him, off of getting that first win. Taking the first win in the league is, can be quite nerve-wracking. You have a lot of pressure to sort of deliver and perform for the team, and he's doing just that. He's done that throughout the season. He just hasn't been consistent enough to keep it together during the race, and he's just fallen down the ladder ever so much. So it's good to see that he is absolutely dominating Preston He probably didn't even think that Bradley would be doing this, and neither did we, to be honest with you. I don't think you did either, Dan. You know, we both thought it'd be the fight between Preston and Harry for the lead.
And I will say, I mean, are we seeing from Bradley a Jamie style of improvement? You know, they both start off weak. I mean, Ritvick as well. They improve over the season. Obviously, Ritvick's still yet to get a win within our season. Hopefully, he returns to be a driver one day to get that win. Who knows? But Jamie takes his first win, and now maybe Bradley here as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, Bradley is practically like a Jamie, you know, has not so good performances, and then somehow, well, I wouldn't say somehow. You know, you can't just somehow win a race. You have to be good to win a race, and if he does, if this young man here can do that today, he will be absolutely thrilled and well, happy with the performance he's put in today, and he'll clearly reflect on this victory and this moment.
Oh, Preston sort of slipped out there. Preston making slight mistakes on this track.
Yeah, we all know that, you know, maybe Preston can't get the win on this track. Maybe this is the one track that Preston has a curse on.
Who knows? I mean,
We see him fight. Well, I'm pretty sure he was fighting it in seasons 1 and 2, and then it starts to drop off a bit, and then just sticks in this position for the rest of the race, or so we might even see him and Harry fight it out. But Harry is currently 9.2 seconds behind Preston now. So yeah.
I mean, we talk about Preston being cursed in this place, but we talked before this race about Harry's win streak here. Is the streak, well, the France streak, of course he still has the Jeddah streak, but is the France streak finally over?
It could potentially be over, I think it would be great to have Harry as one of the people to hold a record in here. Preston is currently fighting for a record right now to become a two-time DFL champion, and he'd be the only person to win it twice within 3 seasons. And, that would be great for him to achieve. But Harry, to be good and also be consistent, Harry has been very good as well throughout the seasons 1, 2, and 3. He's always managed to find a way to get a win, and even if it looks like he couldn't get a win, when we think that everything's not going his way, like some light at the end of the tunnel shows for him, and then that's the win for him right there. But I would have loved to see Harry today win here, third time in 3 years, or should I say seasons. It would have been nice for Harry, because it'd be a record that no one else holds, and I don't know who else has won on other tracks for 2 years in a row.
No one else has. Harry was the only one to hold that record in 2 different places, really. But we're just going to go off of Harry. 3-second time penalty for Jamie. Already in P18 here, but a 3-second time penalty. Things really are going the way of Jamie here today, are they?
No, they're not really going Jamie's way. He started off well, then had that mistake, and then dropped down, and then...
Oh my god, Jamie. You've just gone straight into Joe Guan Yu here. Almost into Harry, is that, I believe. What is... No, not Harry. Carlos Sainz. What is going on?
I don't know. I feel like Jamie...
Oh my god. He's doing so dangerous driving right now.
There we will have to speak to him after the race. But, yeah. That's something we'll have to deal with. But Callan now, he's made his way up into the points right now. So that's very good for him. Finally started in P16 and has made 6 grid slot positions gained now up into the point playing position.
He'll definitely be happy, although Bradley will be overtaking him in the championship, he'll still be happy to get a point at least, maybe more if he can keep this going, who knows. But we do only have, what, 5 laps left to go, I'd say, because of course the 27th lap is there as well. But Bradley still on top. Preston not able to close this gap. Harry not able to close the gap on Preston. The streak does seem to be over for Harry unless the safety car comes out. Preston still as cursed in this place as ever. Bradley looking for his first ever win here.
Yeah, exactly. His first ever win in the DFL would be a great way. And Jamie...
Oh! No way,
oh,
safety car.
Don't tell me that's a safety
It
car.
is. It's a safety car.
Way. No way. And when we thought it was all over for Harry, he's come back straight into it. And like I said, it's Italy 2.0 right here. And it's still on for Harry. He can still potentially get his third win here at France. You're hearing this right now, right, people? It is a potential third win for Harry this season. Well, not this season, I mean on France. And will Harry decide to pit? And that is the right choice. And now it is all about showing what he can do. He has something has blessed him, and clearly the F1 gods have thought that this is what a way to make another end and another controversy win that can be made again. Harry onto the softs, Preston onto the softs, Bradley on the mediums, and has not pitted, which is a silly mistake from him, which he probably should, to counter off Preston and Harry. And now the grid will be bunched up together, and it will be ever so close between those top 3 now. We saw Harry and Bradley come together. Harry spinning out, Preston taking the lead. Can we see a repeat of that? Can we see the man in red take yet again a third victory here on this very track? Paul Ricard for the 3rd season running. It is all to play for now. Everything is up for grabs, and it is not over yet, people.
I mean, we speak about Harry's chance, we speak about Preston's chance. Yes, Bradley has not pitted, but you still have to feel bad for him.
You know, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Bradley has performed exceptionally well. He has put in a shift and a half, and he has made Preston and Harry look like absolute fools today. And you know, I feel bad for Bradley, but if he really wants this victory, he will do a Harry and do what he did in Italy and hold him off and play the mind games under the safety car, slowing him down, not making it hard to predict. And it's what I said when Harry was leading the Italian Grand Prix under the safety car just before the restart. Like I said, you need to make yourself very unpredictable for the cars behind you to read what you're going to do. Because if you can't do that, then you've practically already lost the start. Well, you already lost it, should I say? Because you should be able to play these mind games with others. You should be able to, you know, get inside, living their heads rent free, not knowing like, oh, when is he going to go? I'm assuming he's going to go out the final corner. Like, he could start slowing you down before the final corner, start accelerating, brake, and then slow down, and then start accelerating, and then, you know, slow down and accelerate. And it could just be that constant. But like I said, that's how I would play it. Don't know how Bradley's going to deal with this situation. I'm sure the nerves will be will be a lot more now because of Bradley and because of Harry and Preston. Sorry, will be behind him now, and it is not a 4.1 second gap between them anymore. It is so close now.
I'm just saying on our chat, no matter what happens, Brad, you've had an amazing race today. And I think me and Peter can both admit that Harry has put on there. He did crash into me. Harry did also say he doesn't know whose fault it was. So if it is his fault, he may say it is. But I said we'll have a look into that. But no matter the outcome of that incident, no matter the outcome of this race, Bradley, this has been his best race in this series completely so far.
Something that he will cherish for the rest of this season, and hopefully something that he can remember. You know, a memory that will sit with him. The safety car is coming in this lap. Bradley has the whole pack under control now. He is the man who has to lead after the safety car. He is now effectively the safety car now. The safety car is coming in. It comes down to this with 2 laps left of this race. 2 laps of absolutely nothing but push and go. It is going to be absolutely tight between these top 3, and it will be so interesting. The last time we saw a 3-way fight for the lead, which off the top of my head was Miami, George, Preston, and Charlie all fighting for the lead. And it looks like Bradley is already trying to go, and already he accelerates at the back of the turn 15 now. Preston will be trying to catch him. Harry seems to be catching Preston. It seems that Bradley has the restart under control to begin with. But just remember, Preston and Harry have soft compounds, so they can just push to the limit and not worry about the consequences of the tyres now. It is absolute push to the limit. Bradley will want to defend for his life as Preston almost looks down the inside. It is so close. Preston goes down the inside. They go wheel to wheel. Harry looks to invite himself. Preston goes slightly wide. Bradley goes off track, but Preston goes through the lead. Harry now inside of Bradley. Will it be close? It looks like Harry might try to go down the inside of Bradley, but Bradley looks like trying to go down inside of Preston. Now you have to hold off there for a second. Jamie is ignored blue flag, but we'll just ignore that. Harry trying to power his way through past Bradley, and Bradley's trying to get past Preston.
I don't know what's going to happen. I did see on the chat, Bradley said cheers Dan, but I'm probably going to lose it here. But Bradley is still giving it his all, defending off Harry whilst also attacking Preston here. Harry wants to keep this streak alive. Preston wants to say goodbye to the bad luck he's had in France these past 2 seasons. A lot is on the line for these 3 drivers here today. More so for Brad than anyone, I would say. His first win. Can he claim it here today, or will Harry and Preston say, nah, that's going to happen another time?
And Harry now gets past Bradley, and Harry's up into P2. He has to chase Preston on the final lap, like Preston was chasing him in Italy on the final lap. Can Harry keep this dream alive, and can Harry keep this win streak up? Preston is currently 1.3 seconds ahead of 1.3 instead of ahead of Harry. Can't speak right now. It is getting very intense. But Harry's managed to pull down the gap a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be enough. He needs to be pushing the car to the absolute limit there now. Bradley has performed exceptionally well, but it hasn't been enough for these 2 to get past. And, I feel bad for Bradley because, I feel like he probably should have gone and won this race. But the game's the game, and it is what it is. And I'm sure Bradley, if he has the motivation and the hunger for it, he will come back fighting in the upcoming races. I'm sure he will have the motivation. It could look like it could be over for Harry. It could be over for this win streak of his. The record, currently he could potentially hold it. Bradley now has some penalties now. So he will have a 3-second time penalty. Will he make it across the finish line still on the podium? It is 1.2 seconds now. I'm going to let you have it now, Dan.
And here comes round the final corner to win the 2nd race in a row. No, not the 2nd race in a row. Correction. Here's another race. Here comes Preston to win for the first time ever, to say goodbye to the bad luck he's had the past 2 seasons. He comes home to win the French Grand Prix, people. I hope you watched till the end, because this was an exciting race. He, unfortunately, winning means Harry has said goodbye to his French win streak, but he takes 2nd place. Bradley, unfortunately, loses out on the win due to the safety car, but Preston is gaining on Charlie once again, folks. Driver of the day is Esteban Ocon, and we're going to go to a podium. And here comes Preston for the podium, now walking out once again. He must be getting used to this by now. Harry on his left to take 2nd. Bradley luckily claims that 3rd place with that 3-second time penalty. Come on, Bradley. Finally, once again on the podium, but Preston now closes that gap between Charlie. It's getting a lot more interesting with these last races. We have people, you won't want to miss the next race in Monaco. There's going to be a lot of DNF people. It's going to be interesting. We know Harry's history there. It's a bad luck streak, that's for sure. And here's the grid rundown, not the leaderboard rundown. I can't speak, it's too exciting. Preston takes P1, Harry takes P2. Unfortunately doesn't get P1, ending his win streak here in France. Bradley, even with a 3-second time penalty, takes P3. Then he dropped down a bit. Unfortunately, Jamie does take that P19, and Callum takes that P15. What an exciting race we have had today, guys. Come back next time from Monaco, where unfortunately Harry does have his DNFing streak currently in Monaco. But what actually does he? I can't remember whether he won last time or not. But I'll get that up for you guys. Don't you worry. But we will see you next time. It's been the DFL. Over and out, people. See you next time in Monaco. Goodbye.